CC, Billy Wagner, Ichiro Suzuki, Hall of Fame bound, baby. We got some NFL catching up to do, and we're going to get into a little bit of some non-sports. Let's roll that music.
Ballpark defense, welcome back to another episode. We took a little break. We're going to keep taking little breaks here and there just because, there's not much going on. You got playoff football once a week. Baseball's quiet. We did have a major signing we're going to talk about. I think everyone knew where that was leading to, but that's pretty much all we got going on. That's why we're taking a little extra time so we're not boring you guys. But yeah, we're back. We're going to have a fun episode. We're going to talk about stuff that doesn't pertain to football or baseball, a non-sport we're going to talk about. So let's get into it. Let's get some vibe checks going. Jimmy, Nick, how's your weeks? How you doing? How you feeling? What's going on in life?
Man, I mean, the start to the new year is going off good. The New Year's resolution is going strong, 21 days in. Other than that, living life, going to work.
What was the New Year's resolution?
It was to better my physical and mental health and try and lose some weight and gain some muscle.
So how have you been attacking that?
I've been starting to eat more proteins every single day, drink less soda, more water, go to the gym.
And how often are you gymming?
Like 4 days a week.
4 days a week? Really?
Yeah, Pop.
Wow.
As long as I'm not doing my sport on the weekend. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, my sport.
Cool. So you don't work out for this sport? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm actually
in most sports, you work out to, get physically better, right? So this sport you don't work out for. That's what you're saying?
That's not my first intention. I'm actually planning on losing weight first, but yes, I have been working out to play this sport.
But no, you just said you don't work out if you have this sport on the weekend.
Yeah, because I'm doing the sport.
Interesting. Okay, Jimmy, how was your weekend?
Man, just great, man. Just really good. Got to see some friends. Went into the New York City area. Had a good weekend, and yeah, just played in the snow a little bit. Got some snow vibes this week up in the Northeast, so enjoyed that. And I don't think I'm as good off to a good track on my New Year's resolutions as Nick, but doing okay, doing good this year so far. Doing good.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great year, guys, and we're only 21 days in. I've had so much good stuff happen, so much stuff I can't talk about on air, but life is just what I expect it to be. If you put good things into, and listen to this, guys, this is going to be my message of motivation for the day. If you put good things, positive energy into the world, that will come back to you. All right, trust me. You work hard, stay positive. Even through all the shit, because everyone goes through shit. Everyone goes through their different shit. You'll be good, trust me. But yeah, so it's been good. Fun week. And I'm excited to continue golfing. I'm really getting into golfing. I got some new clubs. It's going to be fun. So yeah, that was my week. Now let's get into some sports. Non-sports. Should we start off with the non-sport or should we start off with the sports?
Whatever boat you want to sail.
I don't want to sail any boat because I'd probably sink it. So let's start off with the actual sports, the fun stuff, because I'm sure most people won't be listening 40 minutes in when we're talking about non-sports. So let's start off with a little baseball. Not much to talk about besides Roki Sasaki. So we all found out where he's going to, and yes, he's going to the Dodgers. I think we all expected that. And yes, I do have jazz music playing in the background. I will turn that off. Brenda has it on so Callie doesn't hear outside noise and start barking. So I will talk that off after I finish my point and the guys take over. But I hope you enjoy the jazz music. Anyways, yeah, I mean, he had to with the Dodgers. The Dodgers continue to sign people. They signed Tanner Scott. They signed Kirby Yates today. I mean, at this point, they are the new evil empire. I made this point on my Twitter. They're what the New York Yankees used to be. If you want someone, you go get them. Don't care about what money you spend. But that's what the Dodgers are. They're paying to win, and they're doing it very well. So, Roki Sasaki to the Dodgers. Let me turn off this jazz music.
Roki Sasaki, Kirby Yates, Tanner Scott, they just continue to add. That team has probably zero weaknesses. They have Team Samurai
I wish I had
Japan.
their wallet.
Yeah, I mean, I would like a little bit of their coin. They have Team Samurai Japan leading their rotation. Oh, and they also have Glass now, and who else do they have in the back end of that rotation?
So it's
Snell. Oh yeah, Snell's
Snell.
their number 5 starter.
A Cy Young.
Yep.
Yeah.
No problem. Just throw Snell in there for a potential game 5 and just cross your fingers, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and then they have Blake Trinan with the most disgusting pitch I've ever seen in my life, the slider that I wish I had in high school, and Kirby Yates and Tanner Scott just to bolster whatever weakness was in that bullpen to begin with. I don't know if you've looked at their bullpen. Like 3/4 of the guy have like a 2.8 ERA or lower. Just a bunch of nobodies that you haven't heard of. 40, 50 games last year for the Dodgers, pitched to like a 2.8 ERA. Okay. So then they go and add the 2 best relievers. The Dodgers are hard to even like root for at this point. They've become like so head and shoulders above everyone. Like it's
The
not
most
even
hated
close.
team in the league.
Yeah. No, it's not even close. Like there are 0 weaknesses in the position player group. There's 0 weaknesses in the rotation. Their rotation's full of 5 number 1 starters. And their bullpen is absolutely elite. So good luck not winning 135 games next year, Dodgers. That's your over under for me. 135 and a half.
I mean, I feel like the only way they're gonna lose is because there's a shit ton of games they have to play, but mainly because they're just gonna beat themselves. There's not many teams in this league that are anywhere close near the Dodgers.
There's not a team. There's not a singular team that is anywhere near the Dodgers. I don't care about any other team. There is no team that has the firepower the Dodgers have. This team is built to win, not only now, but for a while. And you know what? Kudos to them, because anyone else, any other big market team could be doing this if they wanted to, right? The Yankees could be doing this. The Mets could be doing this. You know, what's another big market team?
Aren't the Giants like a big market
The
team?
Giants, the Red Sox, like these are all teams that they have this money, right? They have this money, but they're not doing it because their owners don't. I'm not going to say their owners don't care as much, but the Dodgers owners are just, they're just saying, here, spend whatever you want, get me a World Series. And that's it. And honestly, they're 100% the favorite. And I bet their odds are like minus 1,000 because with that team, if they don't win the World Series, there's a problem.
Very, very disappointing if they don't win the World Series.
I mean, they basically have a team where if you don't win 3 out of the next like 5 years, then you failed.
It's if they don't win at least 2 in the next 5 years, 2, it's a failure. You have to win at least 2 with that team, right? Because Freddie Freeman, he's only going to get older. Mookie Betts is only going to get older. And the worst part about the Dodgers is they develop talent better than most teams in the fucking league. Their farm system's usually top 10, top 5 every year. They just keep churning out pitchers, fielders, like it's kind of insane and it's scary at the same time because, who's to say that they stop here? Next year, Vlad Guerrero Jr. I mean, I doubt he goes to the Dodgers because they have Freeman, but you just don't know because this team is like, they don't give a fuck. They don't.
Their foot on the pedal.
If you're a free agent with like any type of hopes of winning, like how can you not even entertain a Dodgers phone call? How can you be like, nope, I'm good. Like I'm gonna go somewhere else, even if their offer is like 80% of what you get offered somewhere else. Like you go to the Dodgers, you get 80% of your value, and you pretty much just sign up for a couple chips.
Exactly. Like you can, maybe a team offers you more, but then you have the Dodgers offer. You're like, wow, I could win a World Series this year. Mm-hmm. Probably pretty guaranteed World Series as long as everything turns out, the way it should. So that's the part that sucks. But like, it's what we have to deal with. I see all these fans complaining in the internet, like, oh, the Dodgers are ruining the league. They're whatever. I mean, I don't think they're ruining the league. Any other team can do this. Any other big
first ones to do it.
They're just the ones who have the balls to do it. Like the Mets can do it. Steve Cohen has more money than any owner in the league. The Mets can do it. The Yankees can do it. The Yankees are the biggest franchise in the world. Like these teams can do it, but the Dodgers are the only ones doing it. Everyone else is worried about luxury tax or whatever the hell else they're worried about.
Crazy. It's really crazy. And like there's no answer for any of these teams to even get close this offseason.
No.
There's just no way. Like you can't sign enough players, you can't make enough moves to even come close. So there's no point in even making any more moves, to be honest with you, because you're just going to come up short. I mean, the Dodgers could have half their rotation and half their position group go down with injuries and like for the year, and they would still have 2 to 3 frontline number 1 type starting pitchers. They would still have 4 superstars in the field, and it would be absolutely insane because they're still better than every other team, even if that happens.
The fact that, you know, they can go into a series, start off with, I don't know, is Ohtani pitching this year?
Yep.
Ohtani, Yamamoto, Glasnow, Snell, and then Roki. All those guys, they can start a game. You know, sometimes you go into a World Series and you're like, all right, we're going to have our best top 3 pitchers start and then figure it out from there. Hopefully we have enough days rest where the number 1 can go again. They don't have to worry about that. They have multiple number 1s. Tyler Glasnow's a number 1 in many pitching staffs. Blake Snell was a number 1 for the Giants last year. Roki, he looks like he's going to be a number 1. Otani's a number 1. And Yamamoto, yeah, he had I would say
Below expected year.
I would say decent to average rookie year, but still, like, it's incredible. This team is incredible, and their bullpen, dude, they're unstoppable this year.
Yeah, they make me mad, so I'm down to switch topics.
All right, let's head into football. Let's talk a little football. Talk a little playoff action. What went down the past 2 weeks?
Oh wait, we didn't cover the Hall of Famers.
Oh
bro.
shit! All right, let's talk about Hall of Famers. So starting off, first person inducted to the Hall of Fame, one of the greatest Japanese players we've ever seen in our lifetime. Played for the Mariners, the Yankees, and I think one more team, the Marlins. Ichiro Suzuki, well-deserved. One of the best pure hitters, not just, you know, power, but contact hitters I've ever seen in my lifetime. So congrats, Ichiro. Next up is Mr. Billy Wagner, my name uncle, or whatever you want to say. I just leaked my last name, but it's okay. So listen, Billy Wagner, one of the greatest closers of all time. He threw gas when gas wasn't a thing. That left-handed arm, you know, just throwing easy 100. Fun fact about him, I heard this. Supposedly, he hurt his right arm. Something happened with his arm, right? Jimmy, you'll probably know better than us. You want to tell the story, Jimmy?
Yeah, his right arm. So he's a right arm dominant person, and he was an electric flame throwing lefty for his whole career. I'm not entirely sure of the story. It's been a long time since I've been in tune with Billy Wagner, but yeah, as far as I'm aware, it sounds like he hurt himself and learned to pitch lefty and made a Hall of Fame career out of it.
Yeah, pretty crazy. But yeah, Billy Wagner was inducted, and of course, the final inductee, who will wear 100% a New York Yankee hat in his, what do they call it? A bust?
His bust. There you go.
His bust. Mr. CC Sabathia. He, you know, was with the Guardians, the Brewers, just a workhorse guy, you know? He came to the Yankees, won a World Series, finished multiple times in you know, Cy Young voting. Just an all-around great, durable starter. He would go out on short days rest all the time. Great guy for the locker room. I love watching CC play. He always had his teammates' backs, and, you know, just happy for CC. Question for Jimmy: does Billy Wagner go in with a Mets hat or no?
No, CC Sabathia definitely had his best years with the Yankees. I think, like as far as back to back, like putting his years back to back, he had his best year overall with the Cleveland Indians at the time. So he's placed in top 5 Cy Young voting 5 times, which is pretty freaking incredible. CC Sabathia, well deserved. Billy Wagner, well deserved. Ichiro Suzuki, well deserved. But I think it's going to go Yankees, Houston, and the Mariners in that order.
I will say this interesting note from next year: Carlos Beltran, interesting. David Wright. I think they both should be shouts next year. Possibles.
Still on the ballot. David Wright will not get into the Hall of Fame next year.
No,
that's for sure. No.
So the top 3 after these 3 are Carlos Beltran, Andrew Jones, and Chase Utley.
Okay. Well, Beltran, he's got to go in a Mets hat. 100% a Mets hat.
100%.
Yes.
He's not going in with the Royals.
No. I'm just trying to get his
Nick,
baseball.
Did you know that will be the 3rd or 4th person to be in the Hall of Fame with a Mets hat? That's it. That's all they got.
Hey, bro, some teams don't even have any.
They got, brother.
All you need
True.
is one.
It's true. All you need is one. Just got to get in the door. No, Beltran. Yeah, I think Beltran had equal number of years with the Royals as he did the Mets.
I think he
But
goes
that
with the
being said,
Mets.
I think he goes with the Mets. I think he had his most sustained successful years there. I'm just looking like 8.2 WAR season, 7 WAR season, 5 WAR season, like just incredible numbers. He did have what does he have here? He has a 6.8 WAR season with the Royals, but I think he goes in as a Met. He's currently with the Mets staff, and I think the tides will turn in his favor post Houston Astros scandal once he's in the Hall of Fame. I think once he's in the
Yeah.
Hall of Fame, then he'll get another gig, managing or coaching or something in the big
Yeah,
leagues.
I agree. But congrats to Ichiro, Billy Wagner, and CC Sabathia. That is your 3 inductees this year.
3 goats.
3 goats. Let's move over to football. Sorry for jumping the gun. So we have some playoffs to talk about. Some interesting finishes. Did we miss the wild card round or the divisional round?
We
The
missed
wild card. Both. Okay.
Both.
Let me just pull this up so I can be a good lead here. NFL playoff bracket. Okay. So starting off, we Bills, Broncos, right? Yes.
Yep, Bills Broncos.
Bills, Broncos. We all took the Bills, I'm pretty sure. Bills won. Ravens, Steelers. Pretty sure we all took the Ravens. Ravens won. Texans, Chargers. I think we all took the Texans. Texans won. You didn't.
Take the Texans.
Nick took the Chargers, so L.
Yeah, I mean, when we talked about it, we all we agree because the Chargers were the favorite.
All right, so
shit the bed.
let's tally up our records. So Nick, write down our records, and we'll see who has the best at the end. All right.
We all took the Texans.
I thought you said you took the Chargers.
I'm sorry. We all took the Chargers.
No, I took the Texans, bro. Texans.
Hell no. We all agreed to the Chargers.
No, I took the Texans, bro.
I have no idea who I said.
I definitely took the Texans, bro.
Bro, we all thought the Texans were going to lose because Justin Herbert was playing out of his mind and they're hurt.
Okay, fine. We'll stick with that. Whatever. Packers, Eagles. We all picked the Eagles. Commanders, Bucks. I was
the only one that took the Commanders.
I did not take the Bucks Commanders, so I took that L. Nick's in the lead. And then Rams, Vikings. I think we all took the Vikings, right?
Every game there.
All right, on to the divisional round. Kansas City Texans. We didn't guess this, but Kansas City beat the Texans in a game where it just looked like everything was going the Chiefs' way. Bills Ravens, another classic. Mark Andrews, how do you drop that? One of the biggest drops in a while. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
The whole game wasn't his fault though.
No, I mean the whole game, but dude, you can't drop that. Mark Andrews cannot drop that.
I understand that, but you can't just blame it on one guy.
I mean,
so what would have happened if he makes that catch and then they lose in overtime? Then who do you blame?
Bro, but Nick, what about like you showing up in the 10th frame of a bowling match to like try to win the game and you miss and you don't take any blame for that? You don't feel any type of way?
I'm gonna take the blame for myself, but I don't want people walking around saying my team just lost only because of me. What happens if I had a chance and you're the one that shot 140?
But bro, of course your team's not gonna say of course your team's not gonna say it was because of you.
But everyone else is.
But that's how the media is as
because you had the last chance.
Yeah. Yes. Well, yes, bro.
Okay, so what would have happened if he makes the catch and then they lose in overtime?
They just lost because they played sloppy football. They had multiple turnovers.
How does that not matter here though?
Because he had
oh my god.
I get what you guys are saying, but it's not.
I could have made that catch.
All right, let's.
You could have made that catch.
Let's relax.
Even you could have made that catch.
I just don't see how. Yes, obviously it was the last play of the game, but that doesn't there were so many other factors where that play shouldn't have even happened.
Of course. But that's the same thing. He's demonstrating the drop. So, but that's the same thing as like, okay, so let's say you strike out in the 10th and then you force him to get 3 strikes in the 10th as well. And he also does it and then beats you in overtime, for example. Like, you did all you could, but it didn't go your way. But like, if you missed, it would
If
have been
that's
your
the case,
fault.
I'm blaming you for shooting 140.
I don't do that though. I shot 240.
I understand. I'm just saying it's a 50 whatever man roster. It doesn't just come down to one person.
No, obviously it's a 4-man team for bowling. It doesn't come down to the last ball. But regardless, it sucks, and you kind of blame yourself a little bit for it.
Well, yeah, as a person, but Jonathan just said it was all Mark Andrews' fault.
He dropped the ball.
What about the 2 interceptions and the fumble that Lamar had?
Nick, okay. I would understand if it was a hard catch, like he had a dive out. It was in his chest. It's Mark Andrews, one of the better tight ends we've seen. Am I wrong?
So just because he's a known person means he has to make that catch 100 out of 100 times?
I could have made that fucking catch. All you had to do was lay down and catch it. It was right there. You can't tell me he deserves part of the blame. You cannot tell me. Your teammates will never say that, but you can't tell me that. I'm sorry.
Obviously, he deserves part of it, but it's not the whole thing's not his fault.
All right, Commanders Lions. This game, I mean, the Commanders made a statement. Jaden Daniels is him. He is him. The Lions, I think Jared Goff might have got hurt. I think he got a concussion, and he just looked off at certain points in that game. But Jaden Daniels, man, he just looks so calm and cool, and he's got that Commanders team in a different atmosphere right now. That team is built different. And honestly, I think they have a really good chance to beat the Eagles on Sunday, but we'll get into that. But yeah, next game is Eagles-Rams. I think we kind of all saw this coming. Matt Stafford gave his best effort in the snow, but couldn't win, and the Eagles move on. So our championship matchups, which we will predict, discuss, go over. We have a great one. We have another repeat. Chiefs and Bills. We love these games. These games are always shootouts. They always come down to the end. It's always Allen, Mahomes, two of the best quarterbacks in the league. What are you thinking, guys? What are you thinking?
I think the Bills outplay them like the Texans did, but the refs let the Chiefs win.
Interesting. Okay. Jimmy?
Bills. I'm a Josh Allen Glazer. Lock it in.
He is a Josh Allen Glazer. I think if Jimmy could get an autograph from one person, it would probably be Josh Allen. He is Glazer on Josh Allen.
I might be an honorary Bills fan.
But honestly, I think the Chiefs win this. Unfortunately, we don't want to see that. We want to see a different team. I hate the Bills personally. They're in my division. Josh Allen, great guy. Sorry, I don't like you just because you're on the Bills. That's not your fault, but you just ended up being in a Bills uniform. I'm just tired of the Chiefs, but then I don't want the Bills to win. So it's very conflicting. But if I had to choose, I would love to see the Bills. Someone different, please. On the other side, Eagles, Commanders. I'm picking Commanders, man. I'm riding this Jaden Daniels high. I think as long as they could stop Saquon, who Giants fans, I'm sorry. I am sorry. This looks terrible. As long as they can contain Saquon, I think the Commanders can win. Honestly,
I think the Eagles are the worst team out of these four.
Jalen
Hurts does not look like he wants to throw the ball more than 10 yards.
I mean, listen, I think the Commanders can win this, and the line is heavily favored toward the Eagles. I think the Commanders are a better team than Vegas has given them.
Yeah, I can see the Commanders winning this game between 7 and 10 points.
Jimmy,
it's a big number. So you were wrong. The person that I would want an autograph from is Saquon Barkley, because I will never hold a grudge against him. I will never badmouth Saquon Barkley. If I have, I'm sorry, I was wrong. But Saquon Barkley is forever fantastic player in my book. I'll always root for him. I just don't think that the team is deeper than him at the moment. So I do think that the Commanders have a really, really, really good shot in this. But I will root for Saquon Barkley, so I will root for the Eagles in that case. I don't want either of them to win because they're both from my division.
Yeah.
And we look doubly as bad because we can't get there. We can't even sniff a playoff spot. So hurts bad, but I got to be a Saquon Barkley true fan. So I got the Eagles and Bills
and Bills. So me and Nick got Chiefs Commanders.
Yeah, so I have the Chiefs and the Commanders, but realistically, I want the Chiefs and the Bills.
Well, not going to happen.
I mean, I'm sorry, not the Chiefs and the Bills, the Commanders and the Bills.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I just don't see Josh Allen beating Patrick Mahomes and the refs twice in 1 year.
No.
That Super Bowl matchup, the Commanders and Bills, is like the misfit bowl.
Yes, it is.
Because if you would have said at the beginning of the season those two teams would be in the Super Bowl, absolutely, that's plus 50,000 in Vegas. So you bet $100 to win 50,000 easily.
Easily. But yeah, that is what's going on in football. We will update you probably in 2 weeks on who wins the championship round. And then we'll talk Super Bowl because that'll be right around the time it's coming up. So I don't think we have any fantasy to talk about, right?
No, nothing really. Just, we're doing some league changes with or a couple votes, and we added a new player.
Yeah, added a new guy. We're talking about either adding or not adding Fab. If you don't know what Fab is, it's kind of like a bidding system where you get a certain amount of money allocated each year, and that's what you get to use for the waivers. I'm very against it. I do not like it, but we have a lot of crybabies in our league, so I put it to vote. It's going to lose anyways, and if it doesn't, I'll rig it to lose. And then remove kickers. I really could care less about kickers. You're only good if you have a good kicker. Jimmy has the best kicker in the league, and Brandon Aubrey. So he obviously voted no because he doesn't want to lose Brandon Aubrey. But
like my advantage.
But I mean, personally, I don't think there's a point in having kickers. I think to just get rid of them. But it looks like we are going to be getting rid of them, so we'll see what happens.
And then when's the draft?
Draft will be in May.
Mm.
So start talking about that right around when baseball season's coming around. I don't think we have any really mocks right now. I mean, college football finals were last night. Notre Dame, Ohio State. Ohio State was clearly the better team. Let me tell you something. I'm going to be tanking for 2027 picks for Jeremiah Smith because that guy is a certified dog.
Where's he play?
Ohio State.
No, where? What position?
Wide receiver.
Mm.
He plays at the other school that is known for wide receivers.
Wide receiver U.
That's LSU, baby.
Nah, Ohio State's not bad. Garrett Wilson, Terry McLaurin. Who else?
They're both wide receiver U.
Yeah, I mean, they are. But yeah, nothing really else to talk about. We'll talk more fantasy once it gets closer to the draft and mocks start coming out and stuff like that. But we were talking off air about things, and we got into the topic of a non-sport, and this non-sport is called bowling. So it's when you use your fingers, and you're in a lane with a bunch of people, and you're throwing a ball down a lane. You're just tossing it down a lane. You got revolutions and all this weird stuff these guys talk about. So Nick, I knew you had a presentation for us. You had questions for me, and I love to discuss this non-sport. So if you want to get right into it, I'm here for you. Jimmy, Peanut Gallery, if you want to add comments, you can. But this is Wag versus Nick.
No.
And you're going to declare the winner, Jimmy, okay?
I actually want Jimmy's input on this because Jimmy does one of them.
And you can't be one-sided because you're a bowler. You have to look this as an IBO from the outside and tell me who wins the argument. Okay? Fair?
Okay.
I'm at a disadvantage because you're a better arguer.
Go ahead, Nick.
I want to know. I want you to explain to everyone.
Can I say one thing? Really think before you speak, because I will twist your words if you fuck up. So really think before you say what you're going to say.
It's a conversation between two friends. It's not something in a courtroom.
Well, I'm going to win this conversation. I want to take this first step. Go ahead.
I want you to tell me why bowling is not a sport.
Bowling is not a professional sport.
Why not?
It's a kid's game. It's a hobby.
It's a kid's game.
It's not a real sport. Tell me why it's a real sport.
Because there are professional people that do it, that get paid for it, and it is on live TV.
Okay. What channel
Just like Fox Sports.
It's on Fox Sports, right?
Yes.
At what time on what days?
Sunday, usually 1:00.
Okay. And is this during the football season?
This is from today until like September.
So it is during the football season or not during the football season?
It's like right when the football season starts.
When it starts. Okay.
Yes.
Question for you.
No, I'm sorry. It ends when the football season starts.
Okay. That's different. Okay.
Sorry.
My argument
Like this week is the first week, like the first professional bowling tournament of 2025.
Okay, so it's Sunday at 1:00. Are you going to be watching bowling?
Yes.
Now, Sunday at 1:00. If football was on and you couldn't watch bowling, you had to pick between the two. Which one are you watching?
I'm gonna
This is
sit
not a
in my
valid argument.
I'm gonna sit in my room and not go to your house and watch both at the same time.
You can only watch one or the other. Jimmy, let me finish my whole
Okay.
thing.
Perfect.
I have a whole spiel.
Okay, because I think he knows my answer. If it was this Sunday, I'm going to watch football because there are 2 games left of football where this is the first tournament of bowling and I have a shit ton of more tournaments that I could watch.
Okay. Another question.
Also, this is not a major, like, you know how golf has like 5 majors a year? Bowling is pretty similar to that.
Question. If this was a Sunday at 1:00 and you can only choose between watching the Cardinals play or bowling, which one are you picking? And before you answer, this is
There's a lot of factors to that question.
a bowling major, right? This is a major, whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And the Cardinals are in the last regular season game, and it's win or go home. Which one are you watching?
I'm going to watch bowling and the Cardinals at the same time.
You can't watch it at the same time. I've said this multiple times. You can watch
but
one or the other.
Who's going to stop me from watching them both at the same time?
I am just asking you, if you had to choose one, which one are you watching?
I'm watching the bowling.
You're watching the bowling over a Cardinals win or go home game.
Yes.
No, you're not. That's cap. See, I already won. Thank you very much.
It's a major. Why would I not watch a major?
Over the Cardinals win or go home to the playoffs?
To the playoffs. It's not the last game of the season if they fucking win.
Dude, you are lying so hard right now. You are lying so hard.
You're gassing it.
Your favorite team.
Let me interrupt.
I still want to know how this is a conversation of if it's a sport or not.
I'm getting to my point.
At this point, it's going to be 2026 by the time you get there.
Well, you keep like trying to say,
answering the questions my honest way.
Answer an honest way. You would watch the Cardinals.
I am. No, I'm not.
You would watch the Cardinals.
No, I would not.
Nick, yes, you would. I'd put $1 million you'd watch the Cardinals over a major and watch some dude throw a ball down a lane. I'm telling you.
Then clearly you don't know me.
So why are you even on this podcast? Why don't you go do a bowling podcast?
Because my other bowling friend doesn't want to be on my side.
You know what's funny?
What are you talking about? I'm trying to interrupt and add my thought here, but nobody's letting me.
Use your fucking cojones, put the mic up to your mouth, and interrupt.
You know what's funny? Can I say one more thing before you interrupt?
No. Okay. This is not a valid argument. This is not determining whether or not bowling is a sport. This is saying which sport do you like better.
Yes.
I'm getting to a point. It's
comparing 2 sports.
Okay, can you get there before 2026? Because if not, you're going to get -1 in my scoring system.
Yes.
I'll get there. Fuck that. You asked me earlier, how many people watch the most popular tournament of bowling, right? Last year, the USBC Masters had 27 million people watching it on Fox Sports for 2 hours. Last year, the MLB had 29.7, only 700K more for the first 2 games of the World Series. Tell me how that's not a sport.
You're talking about...
Answer the question. Don't laugh.
So wait, so you're saying one bowling event had 27 million people watching?
No, 29. Yeah, 27. I'm sorry. Yes. 27 million people watched the USBC Masters for 2 hours on that Sunday. 21% increase from the previous year.
I do not believe that.
Look it up on the internet.
Let me explain why bowling's not a sport. Let me explain why bowling's not a sport.
Hold on. You also said that bowling is not a sport because people don't make millions of dollars. They only make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay. So does that mean that baseball and football wasn't a sport when people weren't making so much money?
Can I say why keep going, why it's not a sport? I haven't got to my point. I get cut off every single time.
Because you're taking so long. You're boring the court to death.
How much physical exertion do you use when you bowl?
You take a lot of very steps. You don't run. And you hold a 15-pound bowling ball for 4 hours of the day every time it's your turn.
Okay. All right. And we're arguing this. So
we're doing very good at this.
Is there any other sport that you consider that has a average weight of more than 15 pounds as their equipment of use?
Weightlifting.
So hold up. Now for bowling, right? Low physical demand, right? So you're not doing much, right? You're throwing a ball down a lane, right?
So you need physical activity for it to be a sport?
Anyone can bowl. Anybody. Anyone can get
No,
into bowling.
That is false.
100%. If you practice enough, you can get into bowling. 100%.
Me and Jimmy have been bowling for 27 years and we're not professionals.
But anyone can do it.
Yeah, anyone could do it, but you can still suck at it.
Okay? Can anyone just play baseball?
Yeah, according to you guys, I did.
You could suck at it.
You can suck at it. Look at my high school team.
I'm saying there's a better chance of you being more successful in bowling than you can be in baseball, basketball, hockey, golf.
You have to work the same
sports.
amount to get as good.
No, you don't, bro. No, you don't, bro.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't, bro. No, you don't.
So just because your opinion of that is different, that just is why it's not a sport?
I have more. I'm just waiting to hear what you have to blabber back out me.
Well, I mean, you said you've been trying to get to a point and you still haven't got there.
I'm basically saying it doesn't require much physically to fucking be a sport. That's what I'm trying to get to. There's
Okay, but baseball has no physical activity.
Okay, let me ask you this. So when that Turkish guy walked into that shooting game or sport, we'll see what you say, at the Olympics and raised his arm and shot the gun at the target, his air rifle. Air rifling. Olympic game or Olympic sport?
It's a game.
It's a game?
It's a game. This is all my personal opinion. This is not,
But he's a professional athlete.
It's, to me, he's not.
At the Olympics, winning gold medals, not much physical exertion, lots of technical skill.
I do have a clapback. I have a clapback to that. Is bowling in the Olympics? Oh, because it's not a sport.
It will be
soon.
It's
not a sport. It's not a sport. It's not in the Olympics. It hasn't been. Why? Name another.
That is
name
such
something else that's not in the Olympics.
That is such an irrelevant fact because Jimmy just asked a question and you said it's a game, but it's in the Olympics, so it's considered a sport.
What?
Exactly.
That argument football would be put into the Olympics.
Question: why is bowling not in the Olympics though? If it's a sport,
it's something that's going to be there. I'm sorry that it wasn't known since 1900.
You telling me bowling hasn't been around for 100 years?
I'm not professionally.
It's been around for 100 years. I would say give or take.
Not modern bowling.
Not modern bowling, but like the Flintstones bowling.
The first, the Professional Bowling Association started in 1959.
Okay, there you go. It's not in the Olympics.
65 years ago.
But the shooting thing is not a sport. It's not. It's a game, bro.
You just said shooting's a game. So why does it have to be in the Olympics for it to be a sport?
Because you guys just made the point that that's in there and it's considered a sport. So if bowling's considered a sport,
it's a game.
Listen, viewers, this I just need your backup here because these two are bowlers and they think it's a sport. I think it's a hobby. It's a game, right? So let me know what you think. If you listened all 40 minutes of art nonsense.
No, let me interrupt because I'm going back to the Olympics. We're not done yet, folks. If you're done,
he's trying to end the conversation because he's losing. Like it's that simple.
Bowling was removed from the 2020 Olympic Games due to cost only. Money. That's it. You know what else isn't in the Olympics? Rugby. Do you think that's a sport? Tell that to a rugby player that you think it's a game.
Rugby is definitely a sport.
Yeah,
cricket? Do you think cricket's a sport?
What?
Is cricket a sport?
Cricket's a sport, yes.
Cricket's a sport. Also not in the Olympics anymore. How about polo or croquet or, sports like that or games? I don't know. You decide.
You want to know why bowling's not an Olympic sport? It's because it's unfair.
Wait, so track and field is a sport?
Yes.
But there's no physical contact.
Are you kidding me? There's no physical contact?
In track and field?
You're
running around a track.
Your ACLs are slamming against a track. That's physical contact.
And my slide foot is gliding across the lane as I throw the ball. That's physical contact.
It's oil. It's oil.
I don't glide in the oil.
Sliding because of because of the wood. It's
Okay,
like
and
finished
hockey
a certain
players are
way.
sliding on ice. What's the difference?
Bowling's not a sport, guys. Listen, it's my opinion. It's okay. I don't think it's a sport.
Can you compete in bowling?
Yes.
Unfairly,
Is
yeah.
it competitive?
I guess
Is
I
it a
wouldn't
team
call it
game?
competitive.
Yes.
Hold up. What'd you just call it?
I said a team game.
Thank you. Case settled. Have a good one.
How? Who the fuck says is it a team sport?
Everybody.
It's a team game. Everyone
Thank you
refers
very
to
much.
bowling as fucking games. You don't like fucking as say it a sport. If I'm about to go bowl, I'm not about to say, "Hey, I'm about to go bowl a team sport." It's a team game.
Oh, man.
I get what he's trying to do, but like
He
those
just
are the words
crucified
you use
himself.
in
He
bowling.
just crucified himself. He
No,
just
Why?
Hey.
Because of the phrases that you use for it.
Yes, he said he would. He said before we started he'd jump down your throat if you proved his point.
I understand. I used a terminology of bowling, but overall, it's a sport.
You just called it a team game. It's a game.
It's the same
Okay.
thing as if I played a baseball game, not a baseball sport. What's the difference?
Baseball's a team sport, not a team game.
It's still the same thing.
Well, let's
We
go
lost
on.
our
Nick, do
team
you have
game.
anything else? Do you have anything else on your list?
So
No,
it's
he
competitive,
buried
right?
himself. He buried
It's
himself.
competitive.
He
It's
buried
individual
himself.
or teams, and you play for money. That's pretty much what every other sport does, right?
It's an unfair sport.
How is it unfair?
Every time you roll a ball down the lane,
You don't get a strike, so it's not a sport?
calm down. The oil is different every time you throw a ball down the lane.
Oh,
right?
so you have to make adjustments.
So it's not a consecutively fair shot for every single person.
Oh, so when
Not a
I
fair game.
have to hit
It's not-
against when I
it's
have
not-
to hit against Shohei Ohtani, and then the next day I have to go against Roki, that's fair though, right?
You know what's coming.
Yeah, and if you look
You
at the
know what they
pattern, you know
got.
what's coming too.
No, you don't, because the pattern changes as bulls
It doesn't change
roll
shot to
along
shot.
it. As
So you
bulls
need
roll
skill?
along it,
Okay, so you think a player who throws 102 miles an hour in the first inning is going to throw 102 miles an hour in the sixth inning?
question. You're going to the team game on Sunday, right?
I don't
Team
have a
game,
team
right?
game on Sunday.
Team game, right?
Nah.
You buried yourself. You already lost. You called it a game.
Closing statements. Oh, we're gonna start with the guy with the non-sport argument.
Okay, listen. He buried himself. He called it a team game, and I told you I would capitalize on that. All I had to do was get him fired up because I knew eventually he would slip. And guess what? He did exactly what I said. A whole bunch of nonsense, whole bunch of bullshit, just for him to admit it himself. It's all part of a plan. I got him fired up, and at the end of the day, he said it's a team game,
Time.
not team sport. Thank you very much.
Time. Closing arguments, Nick.
I had the most. I'm not even having a closing thing. I had the most arguments. This guy had nothing. He was just waiting for me to say a phrase of bowling. It's that simple. You had no arguments coming into it because you have no valid reason why it's not considered a sport. You just suck at it, so you don't think it's a sport.
It's a team game.
You never thought
He
golf
didn't-
was a sport
didn't
until you
interrupt your
actually
closing
got
statement.
into it. You never thought golf was a sport until you finally got into it and see how hard it was.
This isn't a closing statement. He's just
I don't
attacking you.
care. I am
How's
because
that a
you're
closing
wrong.
statement?
Why are you getting so defensive? Why are you interrupting his closing
I'm
statements?
sorry. I apologize.
That's on you, bro. That's on you.
If I was in the jury, I probably would have left about 15 minutes ago with the way Jonathan
Bro,
was
they're long.
speaking the
They're
court.
long gone. They're long gone. Nobody's listening. Nobody's gonna listen to the verdict. But truth be told, bowling is a sport. Case closed. Ballpark Beef signing off. See y'all next week.